Welcome to Baiskeli Stories, where boardrooms meet bike trails and business strategy shares the stage with family dinners.
We are two ambitious women balancing corporate careers and the joys of motherhood while making time to log miles on our bikes.
My name is Kahaki, co-host of Baiskeli Stories. I'm a wife, mother of 3, I work for family business, and I love the outdoors.
And I am Rose, a wife, proud mama, fearless adventurer, and business leader.
We're diving into what it really takes to wear all the hats without losing ourselves in the process.
From power moves at work to powerful climbs on the road, we're talking breakthroughs, burnout, and balance.
So, clip in, because this ride is just getting started. Welcome to Baiskeli Stories. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Baiskeli Stories. It's been a minute, but we're back. And today we're here with the lovely ladies from Siha Studios. It's a yoga studio, and they're going to tell us a little bit about themselves. This morning, I'm here with my lovely co-host.
Hi everybody, good morning.
And we've had an exciting morning. We've both experienced the studio. I did a lesson, I did a class, a Bikram class. So I'm relaxed, I'm refreshed, and ready to go. And Rose, what did you do?
Well, I did the LYT class. I'm a first-time yogi. Never done yoga before.
Ever?
Ever.
Okay.
But you kind of do the moves when you're doing your mobility classes, kind of.
Yeah,
but
not
to
quite.
do that sustainably for 45, a whole hour, it's different.
Okay.
It's different.
Okay. Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I discovered, yes, I'm not as elastic as I think I am. And yeah, it was quite an experience.
Okay.
And I'll be back. Yeah.
Okay. So welcome ladies to Baiskeli Stories, and thank you for allowing us to use your studio to experience this, the classes today. So tell us a little bit about Siha, a little bit about yourselves, and how this all happened.
All right, so Siha means wellness. So if you think about it, we're actually wellness studios. Siha is wellness in Swahili. You've probably heard the phrase Siha na maumbile, that is your health, your well-being. And the reason we started the studio, we had each practice, actually we met through yoga. We were looking, I think each of us was looking for yoga for different reasons, and we'll get into that later on. But the reason we set up Siha was to sort of make yoga available to people who look like us. So traditionally, yoga has been considered the preserve of a certain demographic, maybe people who look a certain way, typically not African. But we appreciate that yoga goes beyond just the physical and really helping with your mobility, your strength, your flexibility. If you're stronger, you use your strength to build your flexibility. If you're more flexible, you use your flexibility to build your strength. So we are built on 4 pillars: compassion for ourselves and for everybody who walks through our doors, passion, especially as teachers, for what we do, a sense of community, basically building a community around the classes that we have, and it's not just yoga, and then finally diversity. So not everybody who comes to see how we look the same way. And when I talk about other classes, there's yoga, there's Pilates, there's dance, and we have both dance hall and Zumba. And and then we also have a therapy room, so for therapeutic sessions, physiotherapy, and the like.
Okay, wonderful. And you just celebrated 3 years.
Yep, we just celebrated 3 years on the 22nd of November. It feels a bit surreal, honestly. It feels like we just opened our doors the other day. Yeah. And it's been 3 years of up and down. Sometimes we look at each other and is this a business or a hobby? But anyway.
We're still here.
Yeah, we're still here. We still manage to pay Kenya Power every month. Yeah. So we must be doing something right. But honestly, the thing that drives us more, you connect with students. Beyond the room, the studio, in the locker room, you have really interesting conversations. As a teacher, you see people a lot more deeply. You encounter them a lot more deeply. So sometimes you'll see things that maybe they don't share with the rest of the world. So you're almost a custodian for the people who come through the doors. You have to be very careful with how you handle them, how they're feeling on any particular day, why they're feeling. So we will push, but like I said, with a lot of compassion for everybody that walks through our doors.
Okay. So, Anne, how did you start doing yoga? I mean, you're both lawyers. I think we should mention they're both lawyers and still working as lawyers. But how did this journey start?
So probably 2012. I think before that, I probably did the same thing, where you do mobility or you do something here and there. But 2012, after I got my babies, I have 3 children. I had some serious back issues, and gym and any other typical exercise was not helping. I was having serious spasms. And so that's when I discovered Bikram. And that's how I met Jackie. And so with time, my back improved. And in addition to the gains that you see in yourself, in the body, you also begin to see the gains in your mind, especially as you mentioned, we are full-time lawyers, high pressure. But then you discover you're reacting differently. If I'm in traffic and before I would have this road rage, I'm calmer in how I'm reacting, how I am engaging with people outside the room. So slowly beginning to see those benefits. My back improved, and we kept on practicing from 2012 till COVID. By that time, it had become quite clear that I wanted to understand my body more. And that's how I got into teacher training. So the interesting thing is one time after I finished my teacher training and Jackie came and that team of friends came for the first class, and we said, you know what, we're going to open a studio in future. That future was not now. In our minds, it was maybe a few years when we retire. But God laughed at us and said, he had other plans for us. No, I'm going to answer your prayer now. And that's how we opened the studio. So I did a teacher training in 2020. 200 hours in LYT. And the reason why I chose LYT was it's very functional. Okay. And it also, there are lots of benefit it brings to people who have the desk jobs. We are seated on our computers typing the whole day, rounded backs. We are sitting, prolonged sitting, the strain in the necks. And so what LYT does is it retrains those habitual patterns. It focuses a lot on the core strength, sustainable movement, to just counter the effects of how we are moving outside the exercise room. So it's very educational, even in how the cues are done in the class. And a lot of those movements, as we call them functional, you take them outside the mat. How do I bend when I'm going to pick something off the floor? Am I loading my lower back, or do I know how to move in the hips? So that's what LYT is. It's yoga, and more than just yoga. There's functional movement. There's a little bit of physical therapy drills in there to counter the rounded back, and then a lot of strengthening of the muscles from here all the way till here. It's good for runners. It's good for people who are in the gym. It's good for it's very complementary with what you're doing outside the mat. Okay. Yeah.
So either Anne or Jackie, maybe give us a bit of history of what is yoga. I've heard you mention, and I did an LYT class, you did a Bikram class. I hear this traditional yoga. What is yoga, and what are the different types of yoga, and what is suitable for who and when?
Okay.
Yeah.
So yoga, by definition, means union, mind, body, spirit. The reason different types of yoga have emerged is because people want to emphasize different things in different classes. So as Anne has said, in LYT Yoga, they focus on functional mobility. In Bikram Yoga, it's a type of yoga that is based on a wider family known as Hatha Yoga. Ha and Tha, which is strength, flexibility, is like yin and yang, sort of the opposite sides of anything that meet in yoga. And the one thing that connects everything is your breath. So many of us think we know how to breathe, but once you get into a yoga class, you start to understand the breathing from the belly. So as Anne said, when you're learning to be calm, you're also learning how to breathe. So that space in between the stimulus, whatever it is that has triggered you, and your response, that space in between is where you take a pause, you breathe, So yoga actually makes you very conscious. So even as you're meeting others, you're also meeting yourself. And I think this is where, and let me just put it out there already, a lot of Christians especially have been told that yoga is not good for them. And I don't get it. Okay, I've been practicing yoga for 13 years now, and I'm a Christian. Yes. Yeah. In fact, there's a day our priest was taking us through some classes around elocution and whatever as readers in church, and he was telling us how to breathe, and I was like, I could teach you, but, but let me keep it to myself. So anyway, I think I have, through yoga, met God at a deeper level. And it's simply because I have learned to pause, as Anne has said, to really have authentic conversations with myself and with others. And that authenticity, that meditation can only deepen your faith. I do appreciate that there may be spiritual types of yoga. That is not what a lot of yoga studios offer. Certainly at Siha, we focus on the physical mind-body union through the breath. So the different classes will emphasize different things. So LYT, as I said, will focus on that functional mobility. In Bikram, it's 26 postures, 2 breathing exercises. And it's working you, to borrow from the words we use in the dialogue, inside out, bones to skin, fingertips to your toes. So every single posture, and Kahak, you may have realized this in class this morning, we set you up, we tell you how you're going to go into the posture from the ground up. So how you place your feet, what you do with your thighs, what you do with your core, what you do with your shoulders, what you do with your arms, where your head is your chin up or down. So all those things, you may not realize it, but we're actually realigning your spine, focusing on the core, and all those things also work with all your organs. So your lungs will respond in one way, your stomach, your spleen, your liver, every single organ is actually being worked in the practice. So for me, this is why I will struggle and I'll push back on anyone who tells me yoga is not good for Christians. And it's only Christians actually who raise this question. I've never heard it from Muslims, for example, or any other religion. So it's really, and I always tell people, try it. And if you seriously feel that it's impacting your Christianity in one way or another, then don't do it. But for me, the benefits I've had both physically, mentally especially, and just my ability to have that mind-body connection and to learn how to breathe have been insurmountable. This morning I was telling the teacher after class, I walked in with an ankle injury, and it's something that's been coming for the last few weeks. And I'd sort of been saying, yeah, when I get to class. So I guess because I'm a teacher, but also because I've practiced for so long, I knew how to do which postures how and which ones were going to bring healing. So by the end of class, I was actually okay. But as you age, I'm 50 years old, as you age, you start to see what's wearing down and what you need to build more strength in. So we lose muscle memory for example. So how to build or rebuild those muscles or maintain the integrity of those muscles. And muscles don't just grow by themselves. You also need to maintain the longevity of those muscles. So the capacity of those muscles in terms of also stretching. So runners, your stretches, questionable. But, especially if you do, I was telling one of the guys earlier, the more active you are in other sports, possibly the more you need to try the yoga.
Yeah. Jackie has told me that since time immemorial, how I need to. It's like, yeah, but I stretch after the run. I mean, like my 2-minute stretches. Yeah.
Likewise. I mean, I was telling Anne, I had knee surgery years back, not too long ago, 2017. And, the healing part of that, I was advised to do yoga. I never made it to a yoga class.
Clearly, you've come today.
Until now. But yeah, I can see how it can help me. Really, I can see how it can help me. And I watched Anne move, and I think our viewers will get to see a bit of what we were doing in class.
Yeah.
And she's so fluid. And I'm clumsy. I'm kind of like just dropping myself and picking myself up in all manner of movements. And she's up, and I'm like, so there's that grace you get, gracefulness you get when you do yoga, and that kind of is enviable. I think I want to get there.
I think good job, and I think this is your before, because we've challenged her to come back at least once a week.
Okay.
And let's touch base again, maybe in a couple of months' time, and then you'll tell me the difference between now and how you are after your running, because one of the things we'll focus on is, so we have three principles which we work on. There's mobility, so we'll work a lot on mobility, on strength, and then adaptability. Adaptability is where your body does whatever it wants to do whenever you want it to, wherever you, or whenever you want to do it. So I want to move this way, I want to go down, I want to go up, I want to run, but you have trained your body to be adaptable and to respond to the demands that you put on it.
So who does yoga? Who can do yoga? Is it for children? Is it for middle-aged people? Is it everybody?
Anybody. Yeah, I think again, that's also another perception that's out there, that you have to be flexible. So people will say, no, I need to become a bit more flexible, or I can't do it because I'm not flexible. In fact, when you told me this was your first time, and I told you I'm happy, because I'm happy to work with a blank slate. You don't need to be flexible. You don't need to be strong. You come as you are. The yoga will meet you where you are. We will modify you. You need to focus on yourself. A lot of us will come in and watch somebody else and think that I need to move like her, or because I can't move like her or him, then I'm not going to come back again. This is where you now work on yourself also. Give yourself more credit, less judgment, give yourself grace. And then with time, as you slowly keep on coming, it's a repetition with any movement. I think if I came and ran, I would, after 2 minutes, I would want to stop. But I have to keep on doing it and doing it and doing it to get better at it. And it's the same thing. So like even today when we started, you said the movement seemed strange for you, but because your brain is wondering, what is this? I'm not used to moving this way. But then I keep coming. And then with time, you wake up one day and you're like, aha, I'm moving just like me, who's been doing it for very long.
So your body gets more and more flexible.
Exactly.
The more you teach the muscles to kind of stretch.
Okay. Actually, sometimes it's the flexible people who are challenged because they don't use their muscles enough. So they're just used to being able to touch their toes, but they don't understand what you need to do, which muscles you need to engage, which ones you need to relax to touch your toes.
So tell me about the classes that you both did. Like you went for 9 weeks. I keep saying 9 months.
So I felt like 9 weeks.
And you did 20 hours?
No, so I've actually now done 500 hours.
500 hours. So it continues to count even now.
Yes.
Is it that? So when did you do? When did you do?
So during COVID, I signed on online for the initial 200 hours of yoga teacher training. So it's quite intensive because you also go into anatomy, understanding the muscles and how the muscles work, kinesiology. So it's not just doing a class, it's actually a deep dive in understanding the body, because remember, we are also cueing people and we need to understand how to modify. So I did 200 hours, got my first certificate. And then I went on after that, because once you start learning, you want to learn more. The hunger to keep on wanting to learn more comes in. So I did another 100 hours focusing on the core, another 100 to learn how to teach different specialty groups, from the older generation to beginners to people who have injuries, how to modify. So I did that as well. So in total, I've done 500 hours. And still going.
Wow! Oh my goodness! So the certification is there like what is it?
So there are different types of yoga teacher training that you can do. So I did LYT, and LYT, LYT, Lara's yoga technique, is offered by a lady, the founder. Her name is Lara Hyman. So she's the one I did the training with. So all of mine was online. But then when I finished, I then traveled. When COVID, after places opened up, I went and joined her in some retreat to now just close up and tie in everything together in the training. So what then happens is that most of the yoga trainings that are offered are accredited by an organization. So you will get a certificate, you're certified in teaching, and that's how you then go
and then you just start, and then you build your hours.
The certificate is one thing, you build your hours, because you get better by teaching. You have to keep on teaching over and over. It's one thing to get a certificate.
It's another thing to just kind of grow the skill.
Exactly.
And do you want to just stay with the LYT techniques, or do you want to grow? Do you want to expand?
So now that's where the balance with work comes in. I have many things I want to do.
But you also have that.
Exactly. I think once I've gotten the passion of moving and wanting to understand the body. You also have to be open-minded and take in many other trainings. So that's something I'm open to do. I'm doing one at the moment. Neurology is the main thing that's coming in, brain-based movement. So that's another one that I'm now teaching, because and then you then bring it into the mat. So it's staying, for us, it's that ability to be open and learn the movements. I'll get inspired. I'll see somebody walking out and I'm like, okay, how can I, if I want to fix this and this, what do I bring into my class to work on that? So there's a lot of inspiration I get from observing people, which then brings class. So Bikram, it's the same posture, the same 26. LYT, we change up the classes. So you'll have the same blueprint, but then we change based on what we are focusing on. Sometimes I may be focusing on shoulders, other times I may be focusing on glutes, other times I may be focusing on ankles. If you tell me you have an ankle injury, I'll do a whole class on
Around
ankle.
that, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, wow. It's a whole world.
Yeah.
And Bikram, Jackie?
So the Bikram Yoga is actually named after a gentleman called Bikram Chaudhry, who introduced yoga to the US decades ago. And initially, the way yoga used to be taught in India, it was one-on-one. But I think when he went to America, he realized if I want to reach more people, then I have to start group classes. So the Bikram Yoga classes are group classes. It's the same recipe. Whichever Bikram Yoga studio you walk into, you will encounter the same class everywhere. Yeah, and for those of us who are addicts of Bikram Yoga, that's probably one of the allures of the practice. It may sound like it gets monotonous, but the truth of the matter is every time you encounter posture number 1, it's like you're encountering it for the first time. The same with posture number 2 all the way through to posture number 26, because your mind is different every day, your body is different every day. Whatever I ate yesterday is going to influence how it manifests in practice. Whatever I did not eat yesterday or did not drink yesterday in terms of water, hydration, everything will come out in class. The other tool we use in the Bikram Yoga class is the mirrors. The mirrors are there actually as a guide, a tool to help you see yourself, right? So you're supposed to be able to see, I call that first level alignment. Are my 2 shoulders are in one line? Are my feet together? Are my heels and toes touching? So you almost, if you can look at yourself, and that's a big conversation we can have on a different day. If you're able to look at yourself, you will see certain things about your body that, as the teacher is talking, because the Bikram Yoga teachers don't necessarily lead by practice. They lead through what we call the dialogue. So it's their words to your body. That's the conversation that's happening. So the mirrors, the heat, I should say, it's heated to 40 degrees and 40% humidity. The heat and humidity to help you sweat. The sweat as a tool to cool your body down. Why do we have the heat? It's to make your body move with a little more ease. You can imagine coming here at 6 o'clock in the morning and being told to touch your forehead on your knees. It'll be a little difficult for most people because the body is still waking up, still a little stiff. So the heat is there as a tool, one of the various tools in the Bikram Yoga class. So we have the heat with the humidity, we have the mirrors. The 26 postures have different goals. One of the biggest things in the Bikram Yoga series is spinal alignment. So every posture is either focusing on the alignment of your spine, the realignment, the recalibration, because most of us tend to shift in the direction of our dominant side. So you'll always find, if you're right-handed, you'll open a door with your right hand, you'll climb stairs beginning with your right foot. So your weight and your strength automatically shifts towards your right side. So there are certain postures when I'll ask students to do a quick alignment check. Like before we do the spine strengthening series, I'll be like, are your feet in the center or are they veering off to the right or the left? They'll typically be veering off to your dominant side. That's also where, for ladies, you carry your heavy bag. I don't know why you carry those bags, but you carry your heavy bag on the right side. So your body is already tilting in that direction. So spinal alignment, very important. Core. So we use the phrase suck your stomach in, but what we really mean is engage your core. In Pilates, we say belly in and up. It's the same thing. LYT also has its own cues for engaging the core. So the core, pun intended, is really essential as a theme throughout all the fitness classes we have at the studio, because it is essential to your mobility, your movement, and your flexibility and strength. You cannot build your upper body strength without engaging the core, the lower body strength without engaging the core. So we focus a lot on that. So the 26 postures, 2 breathing exercises may feel like routine, but you're meeting yourself as you are every single time you come in. So if you cannot today kick your heel out, your body is giving you some kind of feedback that you really need to listen to. So what you then focus on is what specific cues is the teacher giving that can help me then grab my foot or do whatever it is. So it's actually very humbling. And on any given day, I mean, I can have been practicing for 13 years and Kaki walks in her first class and she's getting into the postures with a lot more depth because maybe she has more flexibility. But like Anne said, you don't focus on what other people are doing. You focus on how is my body moving? Is it moving in the right way for me?
Yeah. And how am I feeling about it as well?
Yeah. Exactly. And what am I learning about myself? In terms of being humble, in terms of showing yourself grace, taking a break when you need to, because sometimes, especially if you're not well hydrated, you need to lie down. Don't kill yourself. It's not do or die.
Listening to your body, how it's all coming together. No, I definitely enjoyed the class. I've not done it in a long time. It was hot. Let me tell you. I don't know. I think I'd forgotten how hot it got. I think Jose can confirm he lost it. Trying to take it was hot, but a very good class. Yeah, very, very good class.
So to both of you, I think Kahaki hinted a little bit. What do you do beyond the yoga? What is your day job? Let me put it that way. Or is this the day job and the other one is
what is your other day job?
What's your other day job?
So, whenever I'm asked to introduce myself, I try not to introduce myself by the things I do, because I think what we are ultimately as humans, we are souls living in these bodies. That soul is the essence of who you are, how you relate, how you engage, how you interact, both with yourself and with other people. And in that manifestation, maybe there are certain things that are of interest to you, so you end up doing things. So some of the things I do, besides teaching and practicing yoga, and by the way, I don't think you should be a teacher of yoga if you don't practice, because sometimes it is in the practicing that you learn certain things that are helpful as tools for your students as well. So besides teaching and practicing yoga, and by the way, I also teach Pilates when the other teachers are not available. I'm certified as a Pilates teacher. It was how many hours did I do? I think it was 200 hours in 2024. Lots of focus on the core. So besides Pilates and yoga, I also practice as an arbitrator. So dispute resolution, arbitration, mediation, and I'm also a corporate and commercial lawyer as well. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm also a lawyer. I focus on real estate conveyancing and finance transactions. And in addition to yoga, practicing and teaching, I'm also quite passionate about Muay Thai, kickboxing. So that's my yin and yang. I'll come here.
You come here and you're like chill, and then you go and
don't mess with
kick and box, something which I'm very passionate.
That is very interesting. Okay. So I don't know if this is so when we asked about yoga and whatever, you guys were like, we asked about what you do, like, I'm a lawyer, and
because lawyers are not allowed to advertise.
Oh, really? So it's like I do that.
So the lawyer hat is the careful, the cautious hat.
Yeah,
we are actually not allowed to advertise.
So that's why I just we just chill
keep
about
it simple.
It. Okay. So
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, that's really interesting. So how do you then balance between how much time you're going to spend in the studios teaching and the law, the legal side of, your lawyer practices, and how do you balance that? And when, what if one side calls more than the other? How do you...
You're juggling both. So I think for me, it's being very intentional. When I'm at the studio, I'm at the studio. When I'm in this room, I'm practicing, I am teaching. And when I leave here and I go and do I go and do the law, you focus then on the law. So planning, once in a while you juggle the balls, and once in a while one ball will drop and all that, but you have to keep on giving yourself grace. I enjoy both of what I do. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy practicing yoga. I know we didn't sound excited about it.
We are very excited about being lawyers.
Excited. Can you not tell?
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced.
No, we are. Promise you.
Yeah, we
We're
are.
actually very good at it.
Yeah, we are pretty good at what we do. Google us.
Yes, actually, Google us.
And so
There is the advert.
it's
There is
also
the
an issue of,
advert.
once you get into Suraya law, I'll wear my outfit and I'll enter there, and you completely shift and you now focus on what needs to be done. Because in addition to that, there's also home and there's family and the other things which you need to balance. So you just learn to focus on the things which matter to you, but you also learn to be very efficient.
And
if
planning is critical.
Because if you were to think about what we do in a day, there's a lot of leakage. I'll go to someone's desk and spend 30 minutes giving stories and talking about things that are not relevant. It's also good, because I think sometimes it's good to take those breaks, but you just learn to be super efficient and also learn when to rest. Rest is important. Sleeping well, hydrating well, eating well. So if I haven't taken the time for myself first, and that's why coming here and practicing is important, because I need that for my mental health. I need that to focus myself for the day. And then I go and do my work. And I know for most of us with those day jobs, which are very high demanding, when you have that high pressure season, the tendency sometimes is to drop what is important for you, for your mind and for your well-being. But I've come to realize how important that is. Regardless of how busy my day is, I must exercise. I must find time to practice. That's non-negotiable. So it may be shorter, it may be 30 minutes, it may be quicker than my usual 1 hour or whatever time I will put aside for it, but I must do it. Yeah.
So for me, in addition to what Anne has said, I think it's two things. It's boundaries and it's managing expectations. So I'm very clear with boundaries. This is Siha time. This is my firm's time. And this is family time. Those things will sometimes commingle. We'll get a message in the WhatsApp group in the middle of the day, or the showers are not working, whatever, and we have to address it. But at the same time, we try to empower people to do their jobs. I actually don't do anybody's job for them, whether at the studio or at the firm. So empowering people to do what they are expected to do, reminding them, empowering them, tooling them with what they need to do, so that when we're not at the studio is still able to run. In fact, that's one of the tests of maturity of any business. If you constantly have to be there, then there's a problem. If to some level it can function without your input, then at least you know you're moving in some direction of growth. Exactly. So boundaries is very important, and also appreciating that in any given day, something will receive more time than something else. One day it could be your family that receives more time of necessity. Another day it could be day job. Another day it could be the studio. So whatever it is that is going on. And I'll be honest, I think in the beginning, Anne and I struggled because we were the teachers. Let me say the only teachers. So Bikram, for example, we had, I think, 17 classes Monday to Sunday, and I was teaching all those classes. So we set it up so that we have an office within the studio. So we're able to take our online meetings if we have to, we're able to work. Actually, it creates a very good environment because it's fairly quiet, and our day jobs need a lot of quiet and focus. So we've created environments in which we can then thrive wherever we are. And when I say managing expectations, even with your family, if I'm not available between 6 a.m. and 7:30 a.m., just understand I'm teaching. Exactly. So we're not tethered to our phones. When we're in the studio, we're teaching. We're giving that class the attention it needs. We're giving that student the attention it needs. And sometimes, like I said, our students will call for attention beyond the room, depending on what's going on with them. So sometimes you'll find you have to spend extra time after class just talking to somebody. You actually become a therapist of sorts. Yeah, and that's why we're very careful around how our students interact. So even when you guys were coming, we had to be careful about explaining it to them, getting their consent whether or not they wanted to participate, but more importantly, making their normal experience of the studio as normal as possible without disruption, so that it doesn't become a sense of antagonism. And we have a 30-day challenge running at the moment. They're in the final stretch, which as runners, you know, is the most difficult. So anything, we don't want to interrupt that thought, that focus. So we want to make sure that they're still ahead in the game. But that's the sense of community then we have at Siha. So boundaries, managing expectations, no means no, yes means yes. So if I say yes, I will do something. If I have a speaking engagement outside in terms of my professional job, then I will commit to it. If I know I'm not going to be able to commit to it, then I say no. Because we then get called, you can imagine, in other circumstances to sort of chip in professionally. And so when you're not able to, you don't.
So boundaries are critical to burn.
I mean, I have my own firm and is a partner in a large firm. So her partners also, you know, she has to manage those visuals and optics as well. So I can get away with a lot more things. But yeah.
Interesting.
Jackie, you mentioned about wholeness and the soul. There's an aspect of that, or rather, when it comes to what also you put in your body, which is food. What are your views on that? I imagine there's some, I'm going to put it out there, maybe some spirituality in terms of what you eat or how you eat when you eat. That then contributes to your wellness.
Okay. And that's actually where your Christianity comes in, because if you appreciate, or your religion comes in, if you appreciate that your body is a living temple, then you start to appreciate what goes in, how you nourish at that physical level that you're talking about in terms of nutrition, how you nourish your body. So as yoga teachers, we will hardly ever tell you, unless you ask, what to eat, what to drink. Your body will tell you. Yep. So if you come into class and that day you're just distracted, you are dehydrated, chances are either your sugar levels are off, or you ate something in excess, or you ate less of something than you needed. So as you continue in the practice, I will never tell anybody what you want. In fact, if you feel like you want a burger after class, go and have that burger, because your body is telling you it wants something. So if your preference is meat, for example, eat your meat. If your preference is a vegetarian lifestyle, eat your vegetables. But please appreciate, and we don't even have to tell you, your body just speaks to you and says, I feel stronger after certain foods and drinks. Exactly. I feel lethargic and sloppy after others. I can tell you, when I was coming in today, I had an upset stomach because I ate some bad achari yesterday. So achari is dried fruit. And some of them come spicy and whatever. I hadn't checked the expiry. Apparently it had expired. So anyway, I ate it yesterday and my body ejected it immediately. So this morning I was like, will I really hack that class? So before you guys came in, before class, I actually came in at least 45 minutes early so I could flush my body. Because what happens is, as you're in class, especially the Bikram class, and you're doing certain postures, you're lying on your belly, for example, you're doing postures that are removing wind from your body, things will start to want to come out. So you really learn how to listen to your body. And I think that's one of the things I learned, not just even from nutrition, even in terms of maybe supplements that you're taking. Are there those that work better for you in the morning? Do you feel sluggish? So one of the things I realized as I got older, I can't take fruit first thing in the morning because it just spikes my sugar. So I'll take it like mid-morning or later in the day. So your body will tell you. It will tell you, drink more of this, eat more of this, drink less of this, eat less of this. You learn with time to be selective, what works for you.
I see. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, this is very interesting because more often than not, when you're in any sort of fitness environment, the what you eat is emphasized a lot. So in the gym, and then they say, so go have more protein, or we're running, you need your carbs, you need your this supplements. So it's interesting to see how then it translates in yoga, that it's more of your body telling you. And that's very true. I mean, you wake up with a sour stomach and you know exactly what caused it. Yes. Yeah. And as you say, as we've gotten older, you learn to listen to your body better. It actually, you know the triggers. Yeah, there's certain things I totally keep away from. I've learned, and you feel fresh. You're like, okay, that was, you eat well.
Good. Yes.
You eat well, you get you get full or whatever, but
Yeah.
without any regrets the next day.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah,
That's true. So, what is the future of yoga? Where do you see it going? And the reason I ask that is, I would say a few years ago, actually more than a few years ago, it was just yoga. There was no Bikram. There was no, yoga was just bad, I guess, from a Christian perspective, and but now I think more it's embraced the different types of yoga. So where is it? What's the future? I guess let me change that a bit. What's the future for yoga? What's the future for Siha?
Siha.
Yeah.
I think for yoga, maybe I would answer it what my dream and hope it would be. That people are willing to give it a try and not, as Jackie mentioned earlier, not going by what they have been told. Be critical, come and try it out for yourself, and see the benefits that you will get from it. You have a spirit of discernment. You need to trust that you will come in here and gauge for yourself. You're not going to lock that door and tell you can't come out. So, because the benefits of yoga, and for many people who've tried it out, they've seen it. And so our hope is that as we continue as Siha, as you have many other yoga teachers in Africa spreading the word around, people will be more open to trying it out, realizing that it's very complementary to all other types of movement that they do, or no movement. For those who are lying on the couch, it's a gentle way of easing into movement and realizing that you want to prioritize your well-being, your physical state, as well as your mental health as well. And I think we're also beginning to see it more with the corporates. The corporate world is realizing the importance of mental health. They are beginning to see the benefits of yoga, and you will begin to see more and more corporates reaching out for yoga sessions to just help balance or to bring in that movement to their staff at work. So hopefully more and more people are willing to try it out and see for themselves. Yeah. And Sia will be there to to usher you into this journey of yoga, which we've seen what it's done for us. We've seen the benefits it's brought to us, and we want to spread that out to others as well.
And you've seen the benefits brought to your clients who have come over and over again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Starting with ourselves. I started yoga because of a bad knee. Anne told you it was her back. So I used to be a gym rat, and my left knee was like giving up. This was in my mid-30s. So I specifically looked for yoga that would help rebuild some of my perhaps ignored muscles, but also learn to appreciate my body and learn how my body works. In terms of the future, I think more and more people are coming to the realization that it's not for a select few. It is available for every body, meaning whatever your body type, yoga can work for you. As Anne said, you work with people even who have special needs. Sometimes you can have private classes with them because perhaps the pace of the normal class will not be suitable for them. There are people who've come to a Bikram Yoga class sitting on a chair because at the moment, they don't have access to their lower limbs. So helping to rebuild that. We have all ages. I think the oldest person I ever taught was in his mid-80s.
Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
And I said him.
Yes. So, in this month of November.
So that mental health, in addition to the physical health, I think over the years, especially our generation, we were not cultured to think about our mental health. We're always focusing on the physical, especially how you look, have you, built the muscles and whatever. But the mental well-being, I think flexing those muscles, we are coming to realize we need to take care of ourselves in terms of that aspect as well. So I find that yoga is a good balance. I think runners also experience that in different ways. So whatever physical activity you're engaging in, I think learn to appreciate also the mental aspect of it. The way you push yourself, the way you focus, the way you align, the way you listen to your body. I can't do the 20K today, so let me do 15. Those little things, like really learn to pull back when you need to and push through when you need to, because also it's easy to just feel way for yourself and say, I can't. Yeah. If you think you cannot, you will not. If you think you can, you will. So exactly. So really focusing on that positive reaffirmation, but also when you need to, you take a break. And talked about resting earlier. You will never find Anne and I here on a Sunday. Not because we don't like coming here, but because we actually need a day where we completely disconnect. And for us, that happens to be Sunday. So we've been blessed to have teachers who've come in over time, who are able to. Our criteria for teachers is not just your certification. We sort of look past that to who you actually are and how you will engage with our students. What kind of feedback are we getting from the members in terms of, I think Jackie is a little too brash. I think Anne could do with a little more training. Those things. We actually listen. And we've been blessed to have, let me say, mature teachers, even if they're young in the profession, but mature enough to deal with students, not also to, teaching also is a humbling journey. You really learn to get out of your own head. It's not about you. So it doesn't matter about what you look like, what the students think you look like, what are they getting from you? And sometimes, especially as a new teacher, you're focusing on, will they remember that I did the left side twice late? Instead of doing the right side, in eagle pose, did I say left over right or right over left? You fixate on that, but the students are just trying to survive the class, especially if they're new students, or they're just trying to understand what you're saying. So we are also careful, not just as teachers, but as studio owners, when we come into another teacher's class, to be a student in that class. We're not here to correct you. We're not here to criticize. Of course, if you want some reinforcement in terms of positive feedback, we will give it, but we don't sort of audit classes and then hammer teachers. So we've been blessed to have really good teachers across the board in terms of the classes we offer. So maybe I can talk a little bit about the different classes. So Bikram Yoga and LYT, which we've spent some time speaking about, I think are our, let me say, flagship. Those classes are available every single day. So the Bikram Yoga, we have Monday and Friday, 6 a.m. and 8:30 a.m. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in addition to those two, we also have 6 p.m. And then we have restorative yoga on Fridays at 6 p.m. and Sundays at 1 p.m. And the specific reason that particular class is at those times, those are the times you really want to decompress. And that class focuses on you just, and it may be a good class also for you to try if you're talking about mobility, because it focuses on just your natural range of motion. You use tools like cushions, bolsters, blocks to support you as you get into the deepest stretch possible, which you hold for as long as possible, just to deepen your own personal range of motion. So the restorative class, it's 1 hour. It's in the hot room, but use the residual heat. So it's not super hot, it's a warm room. So that's Friday, 6 p.m. and Sundays, 1 p.m. We also have power yoga, which we call the CrossFit of yoga. That's on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Again, just focusing on strength. Pilates is Mondays at 6 p.m. I know you may not get all these classes, but if you follow us on social media, you'll find all the class times. So Monday, 6 p.m., Fridays, 1 p.m., and Saturdays, 12:30 p.m. And we focus, because these days there's also Pilates on steroids, like there's reformer Pilates, So we focus on the core mat Pilates, which is the basic foundation. So as a beginner, very useful. You may graduate to the reformer, and that's fine. The other classes that we have, so there's a version of LYT called LYT, and Anne can talk about that. That's Tuesdays at
Tuesday 1
p.m.
and Thursdays 5 p.m.
Yeah.
So that's in the hot room. So what you did here? In the hot room. We light it up for you.
Okay.
Also to mention, Pilates is also in the hot room.
Yeah.
So again, the residual.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, but not as hot as
No.
So a bit
Bikram is the hottest class by
Okay.
design and by consistency across the Bikram Yoga world.
Yeah, okay.
And then we also have dance classes.
Yes.
So those of you who are challenged
Yes.
spiritually,
Dance. Actually, dance and Pilates.
I've been saying, when I first saw it, I even wrote to you and I said, I'm coming for this dance.
So actually,
so
let
the
me take this
dance hall.
opportunity to invite everybody, because the last Saturday of every month, we have a free dance hall class.
Free.
Yeah, and that's at 9:30.
You guys, you had it here.
Every last Saturday
Get
of the
ready
month,
for your December
free dance hall class.
Yeah.
Saturdays at 9:30, and then Zumba is on Thursdays at 6:15.
Okay.
So
wow, you have a wide
those
range of
classes,
classes
we
actually.
do.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
We do, because we appreciate even
Different,
you as a regular Bikram yogi. Maybe other days you want to try something different, or you have an injury, so you want to really get into the restorative. You want to
Yeah.
explore something, enlit your shoulders, for example. Every time I do Anne's class, I find
always
something
come for
new.
the shoulder.
Yeah.
It's always my shoulders. And actually, it's God, because I do need shoulder help because of old residual injuries as well. So yeah, it's a full range of classes that's available and accessible. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Ladies, thank you so much. First of all, for allowing us to experience Siha today, allowing Rose to get into it for the first time, and we hope to be seeing her here. But what's interesting, Rose was even telling me earlier she encouraged her mom to become a yogi. Her mother
Yes,
is
my mom
yogi.
is a Bikram
I don't know
Yoga.
where she. Yeah, imagine. So, yeah. So thank you for this experience. Thank you for allowing us to interview you on Baiskeli Stories. Please try it out. Yoga, Bikram, everything. We're going to put some information on our page as well. And they're at ABC Place.
Block
Third
C.
floor.
Block C,
Third floor.
third floor.
Yeah.
You have to do a bit of exercise to get here to warm you up, but yeah. So ABC Place, Block C, third floor, Siha Studios. It's a fantastic experience. Thank you, and we'll see you next time on Baiskeli Stories.
Thank you.
Thank you.